Alan just finished welding up his rear end for my truck. Looks pretty gorgeous. He's got really nice spacers set up right here.
Chill ride.
What do we think?
Ride. Just drops this thing.
Are we making speed metal? Wind speed metal? Anyways, it's 3 days. We'll make it. We already agreed we're not going to make it.
Alright, so I'm going to take the rest of the month off?
Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so we did some part sourcing today, and we picked up some mil-spec hardware for our front snouts. Got these from Jimco. Look pretty fancy. So we'll get them installed on the front so Alan can continue.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm going to go make sure that my fish isn't drowning.
This guy's got fish, goats, and what else? What are we doing today?
Today we're mounting fiberglass, bedsides to be exact. And right now we're trying to get the body lines and the gaps situated as my ADHD is pro-maxing. Making like your own tools or stands to like mock shit up.
Can you show us what you mean by that?
So, this is like your typical pipe stand, some people call them. As you can see here, I got that extendo mag on them. I got a piece of 1 3/4 120 DOM from the scrap, and it was a lot longer than this tube, and gets us the height we need while still being stable. You want to lock these guys out. It takes all the slop out of it. And this is Jason's old bedside mounts, and as we're seeing, a lot of that might be getting deleted. We're hoping we can keep some of that, but sorry, Jason. Anyways, now we're just trying to, sounds sketchy, but stretch it almost. Just the way this bedside was stored, it was very kind of like shriveled up right here, kind of like this. So I'm trying to go in and flatten it out. I got some shims here and here, and I got a clamp up here, clamp up there. And now I'm kind of applying some light pressure here in the center, and that'll kind of pull out the ends and then clamp them down. And that way when I make my mounts go into here, we have that perfect reveal that you want to get. You know, when you're looking down it this way, and you're looking down it from the side, it's not all cattywampus. Jason doesn't know it yet, but I really think he needs like a big cutout here with like a air little mesh panel. It looks sick.
Damn, son, where'd you get that 40? $40's a lot of tire, Dixie. What do you think?
I'm gonna get my stool over there.
What are the chances that's gonna clear?
Honestly,
No. It actually could mount, but not when I go to 42s. Should we take a side note? Today's commercial is Alan's new beams.
dies.
Jesus. So these beams are 3D printed out of steel.
Yeah, 3D printed. Enough of this shit box.
Oh. Back to our paid promotion, paid broadcast. What do they call it? Actually, it does look
Alan
pretty.
needs to make money. We got some parts. Holly, if you're watching this, You want to send me an ECU and like a harness, and like a 12-inch display? Oh, that's your boy.
Today, Alan is on holiday pay. Because tomorrow's the 4th, so it rolls over on Friday.
Just as I suspected. Just as I suspected. Jason Bird! We gotta kick that into the bedside in a little bit. No, with this too, it's gotta go already. It's gotta like...
What if we just notched it?
It's not gonna clear... We want to push the 40 up higher.
God, we're so out of focus. Okay, now we're in focus. So this tube needs to go. Right here. What if we just notched it for the tube to fit?
BJ would be...
Is this fucking in and out?
You can outfit that in.
Oh.
Square up against the cab. It's like kicked out.
Yeah.
And also it'll just get way better fitment. Really got to put another 40 so we can jack it up and the weights
Evenly
even,
distributed.
and we can actually bump it out and then check at full bump where it's at as well. Start with as minimal so we can cycle things, and then we'll get it all fucking tips. Turn this laser off.
Right there?
Hitting again?
Yeah.
Following this guy. A little better. That was pretty trash. Alright, I think the next thing we need to do is scoot this guy in, line this up before we do any more trimming, before we get too ahead of ourselves and get too much. Because right now we've got enough to go up. We'll probably take this off and trim it up then, but we know that this is pretty fucking... Want to close that up, and we got enough to go.
Can you give us an update on what we did and where we're at?
Update. We trimmed what we needed to trim so far as like old tabs go. Why am I sitting like that? I'm a weirdo. Cut all the old tabs out there on the inside. We thought they were gonna work. They're not gonna work. And Jason cut out some other tubes back there that were stopping us from getting away from the whole like dovetail bedsides, and now they're going to be more straight with the cab, 90 degrees I guess to the cab or the back window area. Like if this was the back window, this was the rear of the truck. A lot of times you'll see pre-runners, some people call them like a dovetail. No, I think dovetail is like what they like cut on the back or bottom. I don't know, but I don't like the way it looks.
Rock crawlers call it dovetailing the bed when you like suck the bed in.
Yeah, so like the opposite of that. You
Yeah.
know, like that's how your bedsides were before. But now that we got this huge McNeil 10-inch bedsides, we can actually tuck the tire with the bedside, 90 degrees, you know, to the back of the cab, which is what we're going for here. So we're getting everything trued up, lined up. Body lines are looking really good. Still got a little bit to play with this gap here, but that's going to be pretty easy. I have some pieces of tape going along this main body line in the cab, and I was able to mark center on them with a Sharpie. And the reason why I did a piece of tape is so I'm not writing on Jason's truck. What that'll allow me to do is set up this laser, shoot the laser, and I can really get these body lines where they need to be, more precise with it, and it'll just turn out to be a lot cleaner of a look. You know, you're not ending up with a bedside, you know, we're one bedside, so like getting them both flat to each other and getting these, what's really important to me is like these flat tops. If you don't get these flat and this angle right, it looks like shit. It looks terrible. It looks like a Guggen mounted them, and that's not what we do here. So that guy off there. So that's where we're at. This piece was pretty crucial to clamp on here because just being fiberglass and super soft and flimsy, these things will want to do some weird wavy maneuvers, and that will affect this body line here. So if you start off with it all wavy and fucking wonky dick, you go to mount everything and then you want to go back and fix that, everything's gonna fight you.
Dude, these are hot potatoes. All right, guys, today we are in the shop, Alan's shop to be exact, and we're gonna hang some limit straps. We're gonna double strap the front end and the rear. In the front, we're running 40-inch tires, a lot more weight now, different beam setup. Everything's just heavier, so we're gonna double strap the front and the back. But today I wanted to show you guys how to properly mount your limit straps. So these are from PRP. Go on their website, they offer a lot of options. And so we already cut down the hardware. The hardware is cut down and it's shanked correctly, so there's no threads going into either the limit strap mount or the tabs. So I'll show you that in a sec. We're gonna run a thick washer on the outside, and then we're gonna run a thin washer on the inside as our spacer to keep them from chafing. I'll show you in a sec what I'm talking about. Take our other strap. We're double strapping just because there's 40s and a lot of weight on the front. So we're gonna put this other washer acting as our spacer, limit strap, large washer, because let me show you. You can see here that there's some shank poking through. This is what we want. We don't want any threads on the inside of any of this or the tab. So we're gonna take our thick washer, put it right here on the outside, and now we won't be bottoming out on the shank. So we're gonna repeat the same step on the bottom, and then I'm gonna show you a really important part, probably more important than the shank. Probably equally as important, but I see a lot of people mess this up. All right, so when I said chafing, this is what I meant. So inside here, a lot of times these will chafe and then end up ripping and breaking. So we have our spacers to keep those from chafing right there. So as you can see, those spacers are gonna keep them from chafing. They're really not touching. It's hard to get, oh, there you go. There's a pretty good view that you could probably fit a piece of paper through there. A lot of times people just butt these up like this, and they'll just chafe. So we don't want that. So we have the correct shank here, and we have the correct distance here to keep them from chafing. And there's still one more step to this that is very important. All right, so one of the most important things before you end up tightening this, a lot of people will just go and tighten the shit out of these things, and they'll be all not lined up. The best way to do this is slightly tighten these. Like, you still want them to be loose, but tight enough to where when you drip them out, they don't get all weird. Just slightly tightened. Don't bottom them out, and then you're going to want to put the bottoms on the same way, slightly loose but tight. And then you want to fully droop this thing out, let it droop as far as it'll go, and get these things tight, and then tighten them. So as you can see here, this is the correct direction that the limit strap wants to pull on. So now we're going to tighten this up. If you were to, say, tighten this up and it was like this, then you're going to tighten that up, and then it's going to end up ripping right here. So this, you want to have this thing loose, obviously, so it can move where it wants to, and just droop it out. And that will give you the correct direction to be tightening this down. Super simple, some easy tips. Obviously, this isn't final assembly. I would put some anti-seize on the hardware, and it's not going through much, but it's still nice to have on there. And yeah, that's it. Loctite, anti-seize, torque it, and torque stripe, and you'll be good to go.
All right, so we got our Pokemon cards cut out on the plasma table. Plasma table is the best thing ever. If you don't have one in your fab shop, time to get out of the Stone Age. Cut a bunch of these guys out. I leave them long. That way they're more like of a universal thing, and I'll bend them as I need and then trim off the fat. And if you want to peek your head in here, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So, this guy, oh, I thought you put your nuts on my head. This guy obviously needs a little bit more trimming. There's a bend here, so I'm trying to just follow that contour. But as you can see, bent it, and we'll weld it to the side. We'll probably throw a bead of weld also on the other side of it. And yeah, it's not much to it. It's pretty simple. Keeps things, keeping us from having to cut this completely off and remake this. You know, money does not grow on trees these days. And trying to save Jason a little extra bucks where I can, where it makes sense.
Also, I'm a very big nut clip.
I'm against it. Jason likes it. It's Jason's truck. If it were me, I'm putting a lock nut on that. But
you could actually fit a lock nut on the back.
You can fit a lock nut on the back. I'm personally not a fan of the nut clips. These are what Jason's talking about. The reason I'm not a fan is because it is not a locking nut. And as we know, off-road trucks go through a lot of abuse, vibrations, and honestly, some things go neglected. And sometimes, you know, you don't notice this stuff coming loose. Next thing you know, your bedside's back there, and you are up there.
But in my opinion, trying to reach behind when you have short little T-Rex arms like me, sometimes it's hard to get that nut off, you know?
I don't have a problem getting that nut off, but Jason's got a problem getting that nut off, so someone can help with that.
All right, back to work.